Do you have a small space? What about a room you wish was just a little bit bigger? I'm giving you 3 secrets to trick the eye into thinking a room is bigger than it actually is.
Welcome back to Oh So Lovingly, where life imitates art, discovering beauty in the everyday with whimsy and elegance around every corner. I'm so happy you're here, continuing in our interior design secrets series. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and let's take in the beauty of the world slower and more intentionally, because there is beauty all around us.
I'm so excited about hacks to make a room look bigger. Now this video builds off of the others in this series, so if you haven't watched the other videos in the Interior Design Secrets series, go back and watch them because there are some tips that we've been building off of to lead here. And I want you to feel like you're on the same page. But if you're ready to jump in, the first tip is how to make your ceilings look taller. This is my favorite little trick. There's so many little nuggets in here, so pay attention because we're gonna go fast. If you draw the eye to the farthest wall first, so you walk into the room, if you're drawing the eye up to the farthest wall first, you're gonna be able to scan the room quicker and it's gonna perceive to your brain that the room is bigger than it is. So the farthest wall from the door, the wall you look at immediately when you walk into the room, focus on that wall. So think about really going all out with art, like some vertical chinoiserie panels. We will get to why vertical lines are so important in a minute. But think about symmetry at that first wall that you're gonna look at. Think about symmetry. So maybe it's where the couch is gonna go, or maybe it's where the bed is gonna go. That is where you could really pattern drench, like we talked about in our last video. You can do a pattern or color drench at that wall. The point is you wanna make that wall pop. That's your focal wall. So that's a good way to think about the wall to really go tell a story. Think floor to ceiling curation and decor. Think symmetry, just like we talked about in a couple videos ago. That's the wall you want to really focus on. So talking about the focal wall brings me to the art. And this is just why I made chinoiserie panels. This is why I love painting chinoiserie, because nothing has quite the impact that vertical chinoiserie panels have in a space. Like, the impact is so tangible, it is so happy, it just really makes a room come alive. And that is partly due to the vertical lines. Vertical lines are so important to make your ceilings look taller. So we could think of this in many different ways other than chinoiserie panels. We could think of this in like a striped wallpaper, like anything floor to ceiling, like beautiful curtain panels. I love the idea of using trees. Like, it could be a faux tree, because a tree is really hard to keep alive inside, but we have a beautiful permanent olive tree in our main entryway, and it is just so amazing what it does. It simultaneously makes our ceilings look taller and adds to the coziness. A big one is floor to ceiling window treatments. Now, a big tip with window treatments, and when I see people do this wrong, I'm like, oh no. Hang your curtains at least 10 inches taller than where your windows are. The curtain rod should be hung way above your actual window pane. That is going to really add so much height to your room. There's no rule, 0 rules say curtains must be hung where windows end. Raise that curtain rod, and it is such an amazing way to open up your space. I mentioned how vertical lines make a room look taller. Horizontal lines, on the other hand, make a room look wider. So I think the best way to put this one into practice is getting a really wide mirror. That's an amazing way to really just widen a wall. If your focal point wall is not that big, get a long mirror and watch that just open right up. Anytime I hang a big mirror, anything big like artwork or anything, I have something on either side, kind of as the brackets for that piece. So if you do a long mirror, make sure you have space for sconces on either side, because we'll get to this, but negative space is another huge thing that's gonna make your room look bigger. Another thing that will really help make the ceiling look higher, but also make it look less cluttered, is any organization you can bring into a space the better. I'm really thinking here of like a laundry room or a scullery or like a pantry, maybe if it's an open pantry. Open shelving to the ceiling where you can possibly reach, that is going to elongate that area, because a lot of times those spaces just become a dumping ground. So definitely think about, how can I make this look more organized? How can I make this room work for me? So if you've got a laundry room like we do, it's a small laundry room, but when the doors open, you see it all. How can you mitigate the clutter? Because anytime clutter is isolated to the floor or like a tabletop zone, your ceilings just look so much shorter than they are. If we can give some open shelving all the way up, maybe add a step ladder so you know you can easily access those areas, that's going to really help elongate your ceilings. And it's good to not neglect those areas, because honestly, that's where you live life. So don't like preserve all the decor for the fancy spaces. Use these tips to make areas in your home where you spend a lot of time bring you joy. The second secret is all about lighting, and I thought this was the perfect room to discuss lighting in, because I've got a lot of lighting happening behind me. The first thing here that I will say is a lighter paint color will help light multiply throughout your room. Sometimes people go darker in smaller spaces where there are no windows, because they can, because it doesn't really matter. There is no light anyway. But if you really want to make a space bigger, a light paint color is the best way to do it. And I've accumulated my favorite light paint colors. Now these are ones that I use often. Edwardian linen is my absolute favorite. It's what we have here in the bedroom, and it's what's in my studio. Funny story, I'll let you screenshot this, but I do have a funny story to tell. I moved out into my first apartment. I got in there, and because I am a perfectionist, obviously, I mean, I'm chinoiserie artist. I'm a little crazy perfectionist. It just comes with the territory. But I got into this apartment and I was like, this paint color, and my mom was like, yeah, it has to go. Now, I was told you're not allowed to paint. But Edwardian linen is so close to what the shade was in my apartment at the time. So close, like a few shades off. I painted my apartment and no one ever said a thing. But my bestie, who also lived at that complex, was like, why does your apartment just feel homier? And I was like, what are you talking about? What? I ended up telling her I painted it, and she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I had to live there. Anyway, the paint color, the right paint color will do so much. Another huge thing is mirrors. Mirrors reflect light, and therefore they add to the perceived volume of a space. With mirrors, what I always tell people is the bigger the better. I love to put a big standing mirror in the corner of a room if you just need a little something extra in the room to finish it off. I love a long horizontal mirror. That's amazing. I love just a big mirror, especially on the wall across from a window or on the wall right beside a window. That way the mirror can really reflect that window. Now, speaking of paint, a lacquered paint or a high gloss paint also goes a long way in helping your room reflect the light, and the light just bounces off. I will say, if you do a lacquered paint effect or a high gloss, you're gonna wanna make sure you sand those walls meticulously, do a good primer, because once you lacquer a wall, it's gonna show every imperfection. So make sure you know what you're doing. If you're gonna paint the room, if you're gonna do it yourself, that's fine. I'm all for that. I kind of sometimes, Steven and I just prefer to paint ourselves because we're both perfectionists, and you know, we're gonna wanna look at the trim. Like, does the trim need to be repainted? Okay, then we sand everything. We wash the walls, we sand the walls. It is not a quick job for us to paint. But I've talked to other girlfriends of mine who do this work or are in content creation, and they're like, yeah, I'm not hiring a painter ever again. And And it's just like, yeah, I get it. And the rooms that we've had painted by painters, you can see the drips. You can tell that they didn't do primer or they didn't do enough primer. It's just, yeah, I know. Anyway, lacquered paint will show any imperfection because it is very glossy. So keep that in mind. It's really nice for like a small area like a hallway or a powder bathroom. It's so wonderful for those areas. The last thing I'll say about lighting is what you're already seeing in the frame. Layer your lighting. I love the idea of having a tabletop lamp, a wall sconce, and then a beautiful pendant light from the top. I just think lighting is everything. I do not turn on our beautiful chandelier. I don't even turn it on every day. I rarely turn it on. I'm most of the time using our swinging arm lamps, and that's plenty of light with the window in here. Like, we don't need much more than that. What layering lighting will do is it will just draw your eye up. It's another really great way to kind of simulate a vertical line, but in a more artistic way. Makes the room look so much fuller and more edited, I think. Now we need to talk about something that you're probably gonna be like, huh? The floors. Yes, I'm talking about the floors here, because negative space is still, to your mind, space. I want you to think about storage smarter. I want you to think about negative space, because negative space, to your mind, is still space. So if you can have maybe some items of furniture that double as storage, like a beautiful ottoman. My mom just got this gorgeous ottoman on Wayfair. I'll pop it on the screen. And there's storage in there and she loves it. If there's a way for you to minimize the items you have, but maximize their potential, that is a great way to really add negative space to a room. And when we're talking about storage, I love the idea of vertical storage. So think about this like, you know, an armoire would be amazing. And there's so many wonderful antique stores, you can find some gorgeous armoires. Keep the furniture spread out. It's the negative space on the floor that's really gonna make a room seem larger. Give your sofa room to breathe. Add any negative space where you can. So then you can also think about this in terms of like creating different zones. You can use rugs, lighting, or artwork to create different zones in a room. Keep a tight editing on how you're using your floor space and your corners, how you're using a room. This is why I tell people, and I am a full believer in this, don't decorate your home too quick. Live in your home and see how you use a space first before you start putting things in there. That's gonna be just the best way for you to really get a feel for, well, I read over here. I like this spot for reading, or I love this spot for working on my laptop. So maybe you wanna position a sconce or a lamp over there. Live in your space first, and then you can really be intentional about what you do in terms of your decor. Putting multiple areas in a room helps a room feel bigger. So this also works if you have a really large room and you're like, what do I do with this space? Create zones. So in a large living room, like I mean a drawing room, you'll often have multiple seating areas. So there's one cluster of chairs and sofas here, maybe a table, something tall to separate it, and then another sofa with chairs over here. It helps it feel more intentional to put multiple areas in a room with multiple different purposes. I don't know why I'm backing up. I'm making room for you visually to think of this sofa section and this sofa section. That will make your room feel more intentional if you have ahead of time thought about the zones you want to create. This is a fun tip. If you're doing any kind of tile work to your floors, like a bathroom or even a foyer, diagonal lines are your best friend. Diagonal lines make a room feel bigger because your eye perceives the distance between the longest 2 points. So think diagonal or even herringbone. And if you're looking for inspiration on just placement of furniture or flooring, look at hotels. Hotels have to jam a lot into a little bitty room. And I love looking at the Ritz Paris. Just a beautiful hotel. I love how sometimes they'll have a couch with a console table right behind the couch. So your table is right behind your couch and you can have a lift behind the couch, give you a little separation if you need it. But that's a great place to look for inspiration. To really make your room look bigger, you have to start thinking like a designer, including in how you pick your fabrics. The right fabrics can do so much in a space, like make it bigger and make it pop, or they can have the opposite effect, like making it look cluttered. And that's why I did this video, which you should watch next, because it's all about how to pick fabrics like a designer. But I hope this was helpful. I'm having so much fun in this series. Let me know in the comments below, what's the next thing you want me to talk about? I love giving these tips. I could talk about this for days. But we don't have time for that today because I am so excited. I'm heading to the pool with my girls. I am going to first show you something that came in the mail that is like the most perfect thing for a pool day. I've been using shave sticks for about a year. I've absolutely fallen in love with these. Like, I really don't like buying anything that I put on my skin to shave my legs that's not clean, because you're just letting so many toxins into your body. And so I started using shave sticks, and these are just amazing. Like, they're velvety soft. They're just so easy. They glide on in the shower, and then you just shave, and it is the best shave of your life. Now, the ingredients are so good. Coconut milk soap, coconut oil, kaolin clay, water, coconut milk. That's it. I'm in love with them, and they last forever. I'm not even kidding you. They last forever. Like, these are incredible. And they even put one for Steven in the box, which was so sweet. I'm so excited to see how he likes it when he has to shave next. This is perfect for the pool because I do need to do some sunless tanner, just a little bit, not that much. But I'm gonna show you my pool outfit. I'm so excited to go see my girls, my mom, my sister, and my niece. We are going to the pool. I love this dress. I wear this everywhere all summer. I'm going to be using this gorgeous new bag by Sprinkled with Pink. It has the embroidered monogram on there, which I just love. How darling is this? Oh my gosh, I love it. It's gonna be perfect to fit like 2 beach towels and like snacks and SPF, which is very important for a redhead. So excited to break out my visor with the similarly colored embroidered monogram on here. I don't know, I love a monogram, but I also love it even more when it's subtle. Like, a subtle little monogram is just the thing. So I'm gonna put my hair up. I like to really fluff the bun. Love this hat. It's so darling. Like, is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I love it. It's so effortless. I'm going to put a link to this outfit down here. I just love it so much. This is just the most adorable summer day out outfit. All right, so excited to see my girlies. Let's head to the pool.
Not like a big deal, but now we're talking about. Guess how you and I were talking about. Literally just lines. It's like different size paintbrushes.
This Wednesday.
Mom, Wednesday? You were so.
I was like, you didn't even do that. I was like, this one right here.
Look how cute it is.
The handle. Oh my god.
Icing there, girl.
There's some sprinkle.
Is it good? You gotta look. Come look at this.
Okay, that's good.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I've got her socks.
Birthday, dear Hannah. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Oh my gosh, we're gonna be so close to them.
This one has been around for a while. He's missing an ankle.
Oh,
I
honey.
know, it's really sad.
What happened? Hi.
Look how pretty that ankle is. It looks like velvet.
Hi. the whole gang.
The house is not selling. I'll tell you
Oh, please. I'd love to see the house that's not selling.
that. There are no homes. And I know for a fact there's several people that are waiting to move. That is the quintessential story.
It is. It's a storybook house. I love it.
No.
Good morning again. Oh my gosh, it was a gorgeous walk this morning and I'm wearing the dress that I just cannot quit. This is a beautiful dress by Print Fresh. I'm obsessed with this dress, y'all. I've worn it, I think, 1,000 times in the last few weeks. I love how playful it is. It's just darling. It's so happy. So we're getting ready for church today. I had so much fun with Elizabeth Ann yesterday. My niece, this has been the summer where she became a water baby. Like, she started lessons in the beginning of the summer, actually May-ish. She started swimming lessons back in May. And she's like, within a month, she was like diving in head first to like get me in this water. She was so fun. She's just so much fun. So we had a blast yesterday at the pool. We really just, but the pool always takes it out of me. Like, just the sun, it's like, oh, it's so hot. So I'm making sure to stay hydrated today. I'm gonna go to the garden store after church. This is my favorite errand that I do. I'm so excited to go and see all the new beautiful blooms that are in, see all the inspiration that I can possibly drink in, and I will show you when I get back. I have to water my orchid, but I'm gonna wait and do it when I can show you the tip that they gave me, and it has just been amazing for every orchid that I've had. So I had an orchid that was amazing, a beautiful billowing orchid, and it, you know, it didn't die. It just like went out of its blooming season. And I was so sad. I was like, oh no, it's dead. I need a new one. And they were like, no, it's not. It's just sleeping. This is what you do. And they told me what to do, and I've been doing it. And not 2 months later, it was back with like 2 more branches. I'm not even kidding. So I'm gonna show you that tip later on. It's been great. It's so easy. And it is not what you've heard before. It's not the ice cube. So yeah, but anyway, we are going to head to church and then the garden store.
We are at Boxwoods in Buckhead, and this is my absolute happy place. This greenhouse is always blossoming and blooming with so much gorgeous inspiration. I love watching the leaves dance in the wind. Seeing what's new and what's in season is always so fascinating, especially as an artist, to get to study how the blooms form and what they look like at their peak. And I love taking a stroll down Orchid Hall.
I wanted to show you guys the orchid hack that I have recently learned. We're back from the garden store and I learned this from the ladies there. Like, this is such a helpful tip to keeping your orchids alive. These are the orchids that I got a few weeks ago. They're still looking like radiant as ever. And this is what I'm doing. Room temp bottled water. That's it. Nothing special. No ice cubes or anything. It's just a matter of room temp bottled water once a week. I'm gonna put a paper plate under this just for the sake of today. Usually I do this into the sink, but to show you, I am just gonna do it right here. First of all, check to make sure it's dry and that it does need moisture, because orchids don't like to be too wet. A little moisture in one side and then a little in the other. And then this is the bonus tip that I love. You flick a little water onto the leaves. The ladies who take care of the orchids at Boxwoods told me about this, and you just make sure the leaves are a little damp. And that is honestly, that's like all they need, is what they said. So I've been doing this for my last few orchids and it's been working really well. So I hope this tip helps. And I'll let it dry out before I put it back into the basket.